Okay. Who am I speaking to today?
I'm speaking to baby girl Bella,
The one and only.
the one and only.
Let's start out with the sex tape you just put out from the Caribbean island. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, definitely. So back in April, when COVID started to wind down a little bit, I took a late birthday trip to St. Lucia. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Absolutely, definitely should go if you can ever. And of course, I made content there. So this one specifically, really, really sexy red bikini, cream pie by the pool, beautiful background, beautiful front ground, all the things. So join my OnlyFans. It's free to join and ask about it if you want to see it. If not, I have lots of other content available, lots of sex tapes, lots of solo, lots of girl, all the things.
The actual scene. Did you
Hmm.
have in mind what you wanted to do before you took the trip, or did you get there and say, this is a stunning location, I should shoot the red here and so forth?
Yeah. So when I do my content, I have kind of an idea in mind, but I definitely, that's the fun part of doing your own content. You don't have to have okay, we're going to do this. Here are the costumes.
Right.
Here are the positions and all of that. Like I would, before I do shoot though, I at least think of like, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the cum shot kind of thing,
Right.
more as a mental preparation or like a certain vibe, but like I just go with the flow and I just let things happen and just I'm big into manifestation, so I know if I put my intentions into the universe, it always provides, even with sex scenes.
And with your fans, do you find that do they really pay a lot of attention to everything being perfectly lit and perfect, or is it just you getting boned and they're happy?
Definitely the latter of those. That's the cool thing. My stuff, I don't want to say it's super amateur because I do, I'm using a ring light right now. It is about getting the good content, but I'm way more about the energy and just presenting myself. Like if they want that like really pristine stuff, they're going to be going to the studio, but they want someone that they can relate to and resonate. Well, maybe not relate to, but resonate with that. Like, oh, I want to see her get fucked. It doesn't have to be in this like perfect everything. So in my opinion though, I like to go to really nice locations. I like to change things up and not always just be in my bedroom. So that's probably more for me.
In your opinion, for your OnlyFans, do you think people come just for the sex or for your personality?
uh I mean, I'd love to say my personality, but they probably come from my boobs. No, I'm just kidding. No, definitely. Like I said, like at the end of the day, sex is sex, man. Porn is porn. Cream pie is gonna be a cream pie, but it's that person that you really like. And I know I do have a very bright, big personality, and I try to show that on all my social media and everything. And even if I am doing like just some just some porn stuff, like I really do put like good energy into it, and I really just want to like bring happiness to everybody that intakes my content, whether it be from Instagram or from my actual porn I
Let's make you some money. Tell me about your OnlyFans. What kind of goodies can we find there?
make. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I do have a free trial. So if you go click, it's onlybella.com, and I also have onlyfans.com/slutty sister, which is like my taboo family type of thing. So if you're, like a little bit more of that kind of fetish stuff, that's there. And my main page, both of them have sex tapes, solo, all of the things. And I post all the time. I'm very, very interactive. I do a lot of sexting and like dick rates and everything with my fans. So it's definitely, if you're, which I think OnlyFans, that's what it's there for the interaction. That's my page is like that. And even on the feed, I do polls, I do, different campaigns and stuff like that. So it's definitely, worth the free trial, but it's definitely worth, checking it out and just being a part of it and, just having some fun and helping, support me. So
Uh, do you do custom work?
So currently I'm not, and that's just because okay, well I am, but it's like I have to like really be about it. And that's just because I just found it really exhausting for a while, and I just felt like the guys like weren't really as appreciative of it. But so if it's something like I'm really about and I do have like a higher price on things, then I do. Also because some guys will pay for it and then they'll charge back on it, and then that's just it's kind of fucked up. So I enjoy it, but it's like I'm kind of wishy-washy about it currently through OnlyFans.
What was the craziest request you got for a custom video?
Oh wow, okay. Um, so it's probably since the craziest, but it's probably most okay, this isn't probably the most elaborate either, but one that was I yeah, and I usually do solo, but it was actually one that he asked if it could be he didn't care if it was solo or with a person, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this as a person because it's just I know it's gonna be better. So so he had me I was supposed to be his like wife's best friend and like snuck in the bathroom with him while we're like the three of us are at dinner and like we hook up and everything. So, oh, and then like cream pie and stuff like that. But it was just very much like, oh, I'm so much hotter than your wife. What if she found out? And I had to like, it was just like he had like the whole script going where it's like, she like knocks on the door and like, I'll be there in 1 minute, and like all of that. And he really enjoyed it. But we would do a lot of sexting and just all of that would be very like, I'm hotter than your wife, which I like that because it's kind of like femdom in my eyes. That's how it is, but it was just very interesting because of like how intricate and exactly like he's like, oh, I want you get the cream pie and doggy and like look back at me and oh yeah, I was like look back and like just like all this like really intricate stuff. So I've gotten some like fun requests though, but that was definitely the most just like all right, probably because I did it with somebody else too. I usually like to keep all that stuff to myself. I also have mini vids. I have I think that's really up with that I have right now. I honestly, I have Snapchat too. I have premium Snapchat and everything, but I'll admit all of my energy and all my time really goes into my OnlyFans, and I absolutely love the platform. So if you really want to get some of me, you can go there. I have like 3,000 posts you can get immediately and everything once you join.
And do you incorporate feedback from your fans from social media? Like maybe once someone see more of your boobies or your butt or something.
Yeah, definitely. I love that, and I make sure to I like save all my little reviews and stuff like that. Like I'm definitely like some girls would be like, I take like all requests, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, this is my show, this isn't your show. But like I definitely like I read my comments and I really I'm getting my boobs redone later this summer, and I've been like teasing everybody on Reddit because there's a lot of like bimbo fetish subreddits and stuff on there. So I'm just like, oh, getting them more bolted on and stuff like that. So I really love that like fan interaction and everything like that. So I'm just like, social media can be really wild, but it's super fun. I'm super grateful for all of it.
How often do you update your OnlyFans?
Every day. I post like 8 times a day. And I'm in the D and then I send out like 2 videos a day. And I'm like constantly in there sexting. So it's definitely super interactive. Because I know some girls are not that way, and I'm like, that's not how I am. That's my baby, Like I plan everything out like for my social media and stuff like that, and like to just keep it up. But like my OnlyFans is like that's where I put all my energy into.
Stupid question, but I'm good at stupid questions, so bear with me. From a physical perspective, what do you think your fans most want to see the most of you?
My boobs. For sure. And I get that. I got my larger augmentation a year ago, and that, has kind of like built my persona, even though I mean, when I started doing like online sex work like 5 years ago. I looked, I don't say completely different, but I've gotten braces since then. I get filler. My hair was dark then. I had natural boobs. They were obviously not this big, but they were still bigger. And yeah, so I know I've always kind of that like alternative thing going on, but it's funny because I don't see myself that way. So that's why I kind of run with the whole like bimbo fuck doll thing. But it's just funny to me because I'm like, if you talk to me, that's not really how I am. But I'm like, whatever gets the guys.
So then when you got your boobs enlarged, was that strictly a
Hmm.
business thing or is that something you wanted yourself?
I wanted it myself. Don't tell the tax people that though. No, I mean I absolutely I knew that it would be beneficial for work. Um, but I wouldn't do something so drastic if it wasn't something that I wanted to do as well, because it's like at the end of the day I have to live with my decisions that I make. So, I love them.
Where are you from originally?
I was born in Wisconsin. I lived in Arizona most of my life, and I'm currently in California.
Uh, in grade school, did you go to a public school, private school?
Public school. I was up until high school, I was like a very like preppy, like good grades and all of that. And then just like some stuff happened with my family and I went like super into like the emo like scene thing. And kind of ran with that honestly, like even into my 20s and everything like that until I honestly just became like a happier person. And I'm like, you know, the black hair and I had like more piercings and stuff like that. Didn't really vibe with me anymore. So I'm like happy girls are hot girls.
In grade school, do you have a favorite subject?
Honestly, I loved math, but I wouldn't say I'm like the best at it. But I mean, back then I was an honors English, math, and all of that. No, actually, no, maybe not math. I'd say social studies. I always really liked history and just kind of like the study of people. It was always very fascinating to me.
And I know you're really young at that point. Do you have any idea what you want to do with the rest of your life?
I in grade school, I no, actually, you know what? When I was 10, from 10 years old until about 18 years old, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And I was like, I would love to go to like FITM or in LA or FIT and all that. But you know, I hate to say it now because I know like you can do anything you want to. And if I really wanted to do that, I could have. But I'm like, oh, you know, like I wasn't, those are like really expensive schools and like my family doesn't have money and everything. But like in reality that just wasn't what I was meant to do with my life or I would have I would have figured it out. And then I really wanted to be in psychology just because I'm like people are so interesting.
In high school, you the popular girl, the loner, the geek, the nerd?
I was something all in between there. I definitely didn't have like a specific group. I always like hung out with different types of people. And that seemed like how it is now. I've never like I had gone through like little like friend circles, but I always kind of felt like the outcast, but like in a good way. Because I'm very extroverted, but I am very introverted as well. And like just this past weekend, I went to like a me and a couple other models through like an OnlyFans retreat in Colorado. And so there's about like 50 of us. And it was so fun meeting other models. I was able to add a lot of value because I'm like a top creator. But I'm like, this is exhausting, because I'm so used to just like being alone, doing my own thing and being very selective. And like all the girls were great, but it's just like the energy of that. I felt like I was like back in high school and it was super fun. But even with that, like I was like trying to talk to everybody and like
Right.
not stay too like clicky or anything like that, because I think there's everybody can add value to you, whether they
Right.
popular, geeky, anything like that.
Was there any sense of competition going on there amongst all the girls?
No, because I'm the top creator. No, I'm just kidding. I'm literally not like that at all. No, I felt like when I went there, I was gonna be a little like intimidated by some girls just because they are like really, really bigger on like Instagram and stuff like that. But also like literally at the end of the day, I was doing like a bit like a business class on like how to be like successful on OnlyFans. So it was like me and Mama, I think it's Mama Nita now on OnlyFans. We're like the only like actual like 0.01% creators. So and even if there was other girls there that were, I don't see anyone in this industry as competition. I see it all as collaboration because even if a girl has tattoos, blonde hair, big tits, hey babe, like let's collab. Like, we have the same kind of
Right.
customers. Like even if they pick you instead of me, like that's not competition. Like I see, especially this industry, but the world in general is full of abundance and I don't see any scarcity, like there's enough for everybody.
If you could pick two things for someone to be successful on OnlyFans, what would you recommend?
Consistency, and invest in yourself, invest in promo. I personally, most of my promo I get is like internal promotions, which is to me, about being going to it hot leads compared to like, Instagram promotion, which might be like a 15-year-old. um so with that, and then like, I don't do TikTok and all that. A lot of girls are able to just get all their subs from like social media and stuff like that. But like even with that, don't be afraid to spend some money on promotion and get your name out there because you can be the hottest, baddest bitch in the world, but like if nobody knows who you are, like nobody knows who you are, So
Right.
it's about getting yourself out to everybody.
And do you find a different fan base maybe from Instagram as opposed to Twitter or maybe TikTok and different things?
So not necessarily like that you could tell, but it is like I know girls that get a lot of their people from Instagram, it's interesting because some of these guys will not be on OnlyFans at all. So it's kind of nice because it's like the guys are OnlyFans, they're kind of used to like the OnlyFans hustle and like just like all of that energy. So if it's like somebody who's just like genuinely there for you compared to like, you know, they're on another girl's page and saw you like that, that's really cool to me. So that's why I have been working, you know, on building my Instagram and building more of a brand instead of just like being like, you know, in the world of OnlyFans or Snapchat or whatever.
You mentioned you were a sex worker or something before. At what point did this become a career for you instead of just a job or an easy way to make money?
It is not easy way to make money. So I danced before I did full time on. I started doing streaming. I did femdom like cam work, and like straight from that, like I was dancing on and off for a few years, and then I knew about camming obviously, and then I didn't work for a few months, and this was just like this guy who like didn't want me to. Got rid of him. I was like, all right, like I'm obviously not going to dance anymore. That's not my vibe. So I literally like took a week's time and studied like all the different sites and everything. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So it was never like, I know some girls like have two jobs and this is always like I'm in it to win it, like no matter what I do. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. And then I did that for like 6 months, and then I got into Snapchat and I did that for a couple of years, and then that, you know, slowly turned into OnlyFans, and now here we are.
In high school, you popular with the boys?
So funny. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was like an ugly duckling. Um, and I had attention probably because I always had bigger boobs too. And I just was very like the guy's girl. Like I wasn't tomboyish, but like I really always like resonated with guys a lot more. So yeah, like I lost my virginity when I was like 15. And like I wasn't like a huge slut or anything like that, but I definitely like, you know, I had my fun, you know. So I would say yeah, but like but now I just think back about all the guys that like weren't down with me, and I'm like, look at me now, motherfuckers. Like, oh wait, you can't. Like
Do you ever get any of those people hitting you up on social media saying either I banged that chick before she was a famous star, or I
no.
lying and saying they did?
No, not yet. And I think that's because like I had Instagram a couple of years ago. And then I literally didn't have it for like 2 years. So with that, and then Twitter's such like a different world. I feel like if somebody's gonna find you that knows you, it's gonna be more like Instagram or probably like
Right.
TikTok or whatever. So I haven't had that that I know of, but I will say like I did one like pro porn scene, quotes like barely, you know, so-called pro, long time ago, and literally every motherfucking person I feel like I knew like in high school and stuff somehow saw it. And I'm like, you guys must watch a lot of porn, because it's like, how do you just happen
Right.
to like come across it, you know? So that's like well, I think it got on Pornhub, but still there's so many fucking videos. But yeah, not that I'm like trying to think, not that I know of. Oh, actually no. Okay, so when when I first started, when I was doing Snapchat, I was on a Snapchat takeover on X Hamster's little Snapchat, and I had somebody that I knew from when I lived in North Carolina who was like really into porn, and he was like, "Oh, like, hey, what's up?" And I talked to him on occasion sometimes, like he's cool, but me and him used to like hook up, but he like wasn't weird about it at all. But other than that, I don't think so. And if they do, I think they probably just keep it to themselves because they don't want to admit they're like watching me, you know?
For you, for branding purposes, would
Hmm.
it be a bad idea to shoot for the major adult companies?
Um, Branding, no, for just because like it can get you out there. Personally, not my thing. I would never ever do, ever ever ever. I'm like, I did that once, but ever again. Just because literally you make $1,000 for a scene that you never make any money from again, and I can make that sitting at home talking with the guys that are like genuinely interested in me. But it is a great way to just get your name out there. I know a lot of girls that do that just to get popular, because then it's like, you know, you look at Riley Reid, who's making $500,000 a month on OnlyFans, where you can go to Pornhub and see all of her shit too, because she's the, you know, biggest porn girl in the world. So it's like, in that aspect, yes. But I mean, personally, there's so many other outlets of just social media, all the networking on Telegram that the models do and everything like that. Like you don't need to put yourself in a situation, unless you do. No hate on the girls that do, but you can, in this day and age, you can make it your own 100% without that.